Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Alhamdulillah wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in amma ba'd. So today we'll discuss uncertainty or gharar in a contract. So this is the second prohibition of a major prohibition of the Sharia in financial transactions after riba. So this gharar happens when there is ambiguity, there is uncertainty in a contract that may lead to dispute between the contracting parties. So what is the definition of this gharar? The word gharar it is derived from the Arabic word gharra yaghurru, which means to deceive, to fraud, or to cheat. Okay, like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the Quran, وَمَا الْحَيَاةُ الدُّنْيَا إِلَّا مَتَاعُ الْغُرُورِ. Okay, the gurur means is a deception. So the worldly life is a full of deception or lie. So technically, there are a few definitions of gharar that scholars said. These are the definitions, I would say, not a comprehensive definition of gharar. Rather, they can give us the hints what the gharar is all about, but we'll know further through the different reading the different types of gharar. So according to al-Sarakhsi, he said gharar takes place where the consequences of a transaction is unknown. Means we do a contract, and what is the consequence of the contract? What will be the subject matter? We don't know. What is the price? We don't know. So then it is called gharar. Okay, definition of gharar is provided by Ibn al-Hazm. He said gharar in sales occurred where the purchaser does not know what he has bought and the seller does not know what he has sold. So this thing happened because maybe the commodity was not fixed, okay, and the maybe the characteristics of commodity was not fixed, okay, so it was unknown. So that is gharar. So Ibn Abidin, according to him, gharar is uncertainty about the existence of the subject matter of sale. So this definition is a bit different from the two. It says uncertainty on the existence of the subject matter, whether what somebody has sold, whether that does exist or not. If there is uncertainty on that, then this is gharar. So we can see is gharar is something that mostly happens on the subject matter of the contract. So when in a contract where either the price or the commodity, if we do not fix it, the characteristics is unknown, or whether they exist or not, then it may lead to gharar. So that is prohibited in the Sharia. Okay, and when we know gharar, there is another concept which is related to gharar is called jaholah. Okay, so this jaholah refers to the lack of knowledge about the specifics of an object, event, or action in spite of knowledge about its occurrence. So jaholah is unknown. So when we do not know the characteristic of when we do not know the um, characteristics, or we do not have the knowledge okay on the size, okay, on of the object or the event or the action, okay, so then it will lead to jahala. So jahala is actually part of gharar. Is a one kind of gharar when we do not know the subject matter, the specific of the subject matter. So this is the comparison between gharar and jahala. So gharar is a wider concept, or jahala is a narrower concept. Okay, the gharar is associated with the existence or non-existence of the object of sale. So gharar, we focus whether the subject matter exists or not. Okay, but jahala is related to the quantitative or qualitative uncertainty, means that the size, the quality, the quantity, how many of the subject matter is unknown. That is jahala. So not every gharar that invalidates a commutative contract is necessarily a jahala. Means not every gharar is jahala, but all the jahala is gharar. Okay. However, every jahala that invalidates a commutative contract is necessarily a gharar. So types of Gharar, this is very important. There are two types of Gharar. One is Gharar Yasir, which is immaterial Gharar, which is very minor Gharar. And Gharar Fahish, exorbitant Gharar, which is major Gharar, which actually invalidates a contract. So Gharar Yasir or immaterial Gharar is tolerated and will not invalidate a contract. So if it is a very minor uncertainty in a contract, that is acceptable, like using public toilet with payment. So when we pay, we use public toilet. Sometimes we do not know how much water we're gonna use, how long we'll be using the public toilet. So yeah, there are uncertainty, but that is very minor and it is accepted in the custom. So this is a minor Gharar, immaterial Gharar, which is accepted. Same renting a house with monthly payment. Sometimes, the month is 30 days, February is 28 days. So we pay the same monthly rent for every month. Okay, so and sometimes we use more the house, sometimes we stay we do not stay much maybe in that house. So there is also a Gharar but this is very minimum, very minor Gharar. Okay, warranty service with the purchase of car. If we buy car, handphone, laptop, the warranty services are provided. Okay, so this warranty sometimes we do not know how okay, where is the when our computer needs service or when our car needs service, but still this is a very minimum and it is accepted, and most of the time it is given for free, so it is accepted. But if there is a price for it, then it is controversial. But if it is free, then it is allowed. Okay, and it is very minimum. So warranty service with the purchase of car, it is a very immaterial Gharar. Exorbitant Gharar, which is material Gharar or major Gharar. So this type of Gharar is not tolerated and it can invalidate a contract. Okay, like selling fruits on the tree before ripen. There are some practices where people who own gardens of fruits, like gardens of durian, so they sell they sell the durian when the fruits on the tree, or sometimes even when there is flower only on the tree. So this is Gharar Fahish, or is a major Gharar that will invalidate the contract. However, so in order for the Gharar Fahish to invalidate the contract, there are, how we know that this is a Gharar Fahish, and it will invalidate the contract, there are four conditions for that. First, the element of Gharar is too abundant, means it is too a lot in a contract. So how we know it is basically we know through the uruf, through the custom of the society, and it is a kind of ambiguity that will lead to disputes, that will lead to fights among the buyer and seller. Okay, so selling something without knowing the characteristics, so that will lead to some kind of dispute among the buyer and seller. So that is the first condition. It is too abundant in the contract. It's obvious in the contract. And second, the element of Gharar in contracts of exchange. Okay, exchange contract that we know is there is a mutual exchange like sale, lease, where you pay money, other party pays the service. Okay, so it should be in a mutual exchange contract like sale and lease. But it is if it is in a voluntary contracts like hibah, is a gift, there is no mutual exchange, is from one party. Wasiyah, so Gara does not apply to these contracts. Okay, that's why insurance takaful is allowed in the Sharia, but insurance is not, because in takaful we use a hibah. Okay, donation. All the participants, they will donate in a fund, and then if there is any calamity happens to any of the participants, so they will get help from that fund, of that donation fund. Unlike the insurance, where you the they you, the, you if you subscribe to insurance, you buy premium, so you pay premium, you buy the policy, so against that policy they will cover your loss due to accidents or deaths. So here it is a sell contract, buy and sell contract, so we do not know where is the where's the return? So I pay money, okay, but when what is the in exchange? What I'll get? What is the service? It is unknown. I don't know when I'll get an accident, for example, when and how much will be the compensation. It is most of the time unknown. So that's why the conventional insurance is prohibited due to gharar. Number three, element of gharar in the asal, in the original, not in the subsequence. So the example to make it easy, like if you sell a cow and that cow has milk, that cow gives milk. So that whether the cow gives milk, how much the cow gives milk is sometimes unknown. Okay, so that is not accepted because the asal, the fundamental thing here is the cow. I am selling the cow, so there is no gharar in that, okay, in the cow. But the whether the cow can give milk, how much can give milk, it is in the subsequence. It is tabi', okay, it is just auxiliary. So it is so we should not consider the gharar here. Okay, the gharar should be in the asal, in the fundamental product. Okay, the contract does not reach the level of hajah or need. Okay, so gharar sometimes accepted if there is need, like in salam and istisna, they are allowed because of the need. So in some cases, Sharia allows gharar because of the hajah or need. So if so in order for a contract to be prohibited, we need to make sure that this contract is not something a hajah. Okay, it's a need in the society. So now I will give you some example because many we do not get a clear picture of gharar from the definition. So I'm giving you some of the forms of how the gharar happens in a contract. First, gharar relating happens related to the sirah, okay, the ijab and qabul of the contract. Like somebody said, I sell you this commodity for 100 ringgit on cash and 150 on credit. So if somebody gives an offer like this, so this contract is invalid because there is a ambiguity. Which one is the price? Is it 100 or is it 150? Sharia scholars allow to sell something on credit with a higher price, but that should be separate. If we combine like this, it will be invalid due to ambiguity. Arbun or earnest money. We know arbun is, we can, to make it simple, is a booking fee. Sometimes we buy a house or car and then we pay 10% or 5% as a booking fee, and then if we proceed with the contract, so that will be part of the price. If we do not proceed, so the seller will take that money. So this is not allowed in the Sharia by the majority of the scholars. They say if we okay, it is a kind of injustice and also gharar, because if we do not proceed with the contract, then the seller will take the price. So uh, it is injustice because sometimes the seller may not face any loss. Okay, if the seller face loss, the seller can take back what is the loss incurred. He cannot take all the money. According to Sharia, they allow hamish jiddiyah. Hamish jiddiyah is something that we pay a booking fee, and then if we do not proceed, the seller will calculate how much cost incurred because of my breach of the contract. So he will take that, and the rest he will return. So that is called hamish jiddiyah, which is allowed in the Sharia. But arbun is not allowed in the Sharia because we pay, and then if we do not proceed with the contract, the seller will take all the money without considering the loss incurred to the seller. So majority of the scholars have prohibited it. However, some of the scholars allowed it. Okay, like Imam Ahmad and some contemporary scholars, some Islamic banks, they do use arbun contract, but the Aufi and majority of the scholars, they recommend Hamish Jiddiya instead of Arbun. Okay, another thing in contingent sale. Okay, contingent sale uh, is a contract, okay, where okay, where the offer is given like this: I sell you my house if A sold his house to me. So this is an offer which is conditional, and so which is a conditional, and this, we do not know whether the sale is executed, concluded or not, because it is subject to another event, and that event is not certain. Okay, I sell you this if he sells me this. Okay, so if he does not, the sale is not valid. Okay, so uh, uh, majority of the scholars say it is invalid. However, Ibn Taymiyyah has allowed it. Okay, or it can be at least fasid, okay, that defected. It can be fixed when the other contract is executed. Okay, contract effective from future date. If we make a contract like okay, I will buy from you something, okay, in the future, so it is invalid according to Sheikh Darir, but valid according to Imam Ibn Taymiyyah. So here, a majority of the scholars say if we buy something in a future date, okay, so it will be invalid. So what is the example? Means we buy something, we pay the price in a future date, and also the commodity will be delivered in a future date. So this is invalid. Okay, the Sharia allowed to defer one. Like in Salam, we defer the commodity. We pay now, the commodity is deferred. Okay, similarly in Istisna. Or in BBA, we get the commodity first, but we pay later. So Sharia allow both, but the Sharia does not allow to defer both the price and also the commodity. So that because of the uncertainty is too, there are a lot of uncertainty here. But so majority of the scholar didn't allow, and it is also like selling debt for debt. That's why majority of the scholars did not allow it. However, Ibn Taymiyyah allowed it. So according to him, the uncertainty, if we are certain on the transaction, we can deliver, we can certain that we can make the payment, so it is allowed. Okay, but it's still it is controversial, and majority of the scholars did not allow it. Okay. And then, so this were all about uh, the sighah, expression of the contract. So now gharar can happen related to the subject matter, the commodity of the contract, like the genus or the kind of the object is not fixed. Let's say somebody say, I sell you an item for 10, and does not specify the object of sale. Okay, what he sold, he didn't specify, or he said, okay, I sell you a piece of cloth from my shop, okay, from this, but he did not specify, so uh, it will be invalid. Unspecified attributes of the subject or of the object. So there are many. So somebody say, okay, I have cows here. I sell my cow. Okay, but he didn't specify which one. Or somebody sold an item which is not at the present, but he did not specify. Okay, let's say I say, okay, I sell to you 1 kg of rice. Okay, so the sale is not valid. We need to specify, okay, what type of rice. Okay, is it basmati, or is it uh, wangi, or is it normal rice, or what? Okay, we need to specify the attributes, means the characteristics of the object. Like one of the example here, like sale of carrot, onion, and garlic before harvesting. You know, the carrot, onion, and garlic, all these, they are under the earth. So if we sell before we take those things out from the earth, so it will be invalid, because we do not know their characteristics, whether the carrots, they are big enough, or they are sweet enough, okay, or they are matured enough. Gharar related to the quantity of the objects, like by al-munabazah, sale of fresh dates on the palm against harvested dried dates. So this is prohibited because we do not know the quantity. The sale of fruits, the Arabs used to sell the fresh dates on the tree, okay, against the dried dates. So how much we do not know. Okay, so it is invalid. Gharar related to the specification of the object, like selling a sheep out of a herd without specification. So somebody has a herd of sheep, a group of sheep, and he just say, okay, I sell you one sheep from my I sell you one sheep from my herd, but he didn't specify which one. So it will be invalid, or it will be a fasid, subject to specification of the object. Okay, and then gharar may happen related to the time of performance. Okay, if we sell on credit without specifying the payment date, then it will be invalid. So if we fix it, the date of payment, then it will be valid. So it is very important, if we sell something on credit, we must specify what date the person needs to pay. Even though in installments, we need to specify on how many installments, and what the type of payment. If not, it will be invalid. Uncertainty regarding the existence of the object, like sale of fetus. Okay, fetus is that's in mother's womb. Okay, so if somebody sells, okay, the fetus of a cow, for example, so it is not allowed, because there's uncertainty whether the fetus will be born, okay, alive or dead. Okay, some scholar reported ijma on this issue. However, things which existence is certain in future are permissible. So if we do not know whether we are not certain on the existence of something, it is being valid. Okay, but if we are certain, like for example, a house under construction. So usually we are certain, we can know the exact specifics, characteristics of the condominium, for example. So it is allowed by the scholars. However, something we do not have, we do not know whether it is certain or not. Okay, like when the fetus will be born alive or not, it is. So of we cannot sell in like fish in the pond or in the sea, because we do not know whether there is a fish or not, or whether we can get the fish or not. So that's why it comes to also delivery, gara relating to the delivery of the object, like sale of a car which is stolen. So if a car is stolen, I cannot sell it because I am not certain whether I'll be able to deliver that car to the seller. So these are some of the examples of gharar or uncertainty in a contract. So now the scholars they have again revise the definition of gharar. Modern scholars, they say gharar is not only uncertainty in the subject matter of the contract, or in the offer and acceptance, rather any kind of fraud, any kind of cheating in the contract is called gharar. And they rely on uh, the uh, literal meaning of gharar. Okay, we can see if we refer to the Quran, the word gharar means deception, lie, cheating, as Allah said, "Gharrathumul hayatud dunya." The worldly life has deceived them. Okay, so based on that, they say gharar is any kind of cheating. Cheating is deception, khida'ah. Okay, just to cheat with with Rubon misrepresentation, to sell something with excessively praising, with something good, but inside it there are some defects, okay, or some any kind of cheating. Artificial price increase, which is called najash. Okay, artificially praise means here najash is something where the seller, he will hire some people to artificially praise his goods so that other people can buy. It happens right now also. We can see many products even online, there will be some give very good review, okay, of that product, but sometimes they are paid by the seller to give this kind of review, and their review are not real. Okay, so this is called najash, which is prohibited. Okay, gharar versus, some may confuse whether gharar versus risk, whether taking risks also there is an uncertainty whether it is allowed or not. Okay, so systematic risk related to the normal trade is allowed in the Islam. So if we do business, there is a risk in it, it is allowed. But excessive risk, which may lead to gharar or maisir. So risk, actually excessive risk, most related to maisir, that we'll learn in the next chapter. Okay, so it is not allowed. Okay, but is a systematic risk is allowed in the Sharia. So what is the prohibition of gharar? In, as Allah said in the Quran, and do not eat up your property among yourselves for vanities, nor use it as bait for the judges. La ta'kulu amwalakum bainakum bil batil. Do not eat. So gharar is a way to eat each other's property through deception, through cheating. Okay, because we do not uh, specify the subject matter. And then in the gharar, the most prohibition in the hadith. Okay, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam has forbidden the purchase of unborn animal in its mother's womb. Okay, the fetus, the sale of the milk in the udder without measurement, the purchase of spoils of war prior to the distribution. Okay, the purchase of charities prior to the receipt, and the purchase of the catch of a diver. Okay, you know the diver who dives in the sea to get pearls and other precious metals. So the Arabs, they used to sell it. Okay, so that is, all these are prohibited in the Sharia. So why this prohibited? Because we are not certain whether the product will be delivered or not, and whether they exist or not. Okay, so what's the wisdom behind the prohibition of gharar? Is because it infringes mutual consent. Okay, the contracting parties are not agreed on this when there is uncertainty, and it may lead to injustice. Okay, injustice is an operation to one of the contracting parties that may lead to hostility or dispute or quarrel between the parties, and also protecting the wealth from loss. If we don't allow gharar, so there will be a lot of wealth due to dispute. People will not do transactions, so there will be loss of wealth. Okay, I will give you some classical example of gharar. The sale there in the pre-Islamic era, there used to be some kind of sale that involve gharar, like al-Hasat. Okay, so they will throw stone. So where the throne will hit, so that item will be sold. Okay, they will throw stone, and whatever the stone hits, that will be sold. So sell by throwing a stone, which is of course prohibited because of uncertainty. Okay, buy al-munabazah. Okay, so the vendor throws a piece of cloth to the buyer. So if you go to shop, and then the seller will just throw a piece of cloth to you, so that's yours. Okay, you have to buy that, so it is prohibited. Okay, it's by al-mulamasah, purchase by touching the object. So if you go to shop, you touch this cloth, so that's yours. Okay, by purchase by touching. So that used to be practiced before the Islam. So it is prohibited because we do not sometimes have reda, consent, and also we do not know exactly the subject matter, the commodity well. Okay, and then Darbatul Ghais, sell conditional to what a diver gets. So means we need to pay first to the diver. Okay, that is the purchase price. So and then the diver will dive into the sea. Whatever he gets, that's us. So it is uncertain whether he will get something or not, whether something exists or not. So these are the examples of classical gharar. So why I gave this example, even though these contracts are not practiced in the right now, but we can get the similar principles and we can apply in the modern day transactions. Like we have features, we have forward transaction in share markets, we have short selling, we also have now forex transactions where we can see this type of principles like uncertainty or on the existence of the contract or the delivery are there. So it will help us to implement the principles in the contemporary transaction. So with that, I thank you. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.